everybody and welcome to my channel. I coordinated my inner corner highlight with my earrings and I'm very proud. I did not film this look, but a lot of the makeup items that I used on my face will be in today's video because I'm going to be talking about older products that still are amazing and still are products that I love. Now, yes, I know that sometimes if an older product just stays around for too long, it does get overtaken by newer and better things. I have spoken about this on my channel before, and I will link that video down in the cards or up in the cards if it's already up, where I talked about like overhyped products that are past their prime, basically hot products that are now not. But in this video, I'll be talking about those rare finds that I have found that have like basically stayed, like have stayed the test of time, have survived the test of time, that are still good even though it's been a very long time, and still are products that I reach for. Every single product in here is at least several years old, so if you want to chat about some makeup flashbacks, then keep on watching this video. Alright, first up I want to talk about this little thing. I just want to get this out of the way. I have spoken about this at length many times. You probably already know what this is. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow Pomade. Now, I know that everyone is into like the benefit brow stuff. People are into a lot of new things, and I have tried a few brow products. I haven't tried a lot because this just works for me. I've had the same little pot for a very long time, and it's been, I think, more than a year, and I still have yet to finish it. I am very close though. And I think the reason why I haven't used this up is just because I tend to be pretty light-handed with my brows on an everyday basis. This brow look that I have, like, this is the boldest I'll go. So I tend to be pretty light-handed. I don't tend to use a lot of product, so that's why I've been able to keep this for so long. This is an amazing product. I really like it a lot. People do say that it dries out, and yes, that is true. This is pretty dry, and the reason I haven't put any kind of beauty oil in this product is because I actually like a very soft and very diffused looking brow. What I do is I take this little angled brush that is an old one from EcoTools, and I take it and I basically dip it in here. And I don't dip it, like, I don't coat the brush, I just like dab it a little bit, and then I just do my brows, and I just like that softer brow. Whenever I do makeup on someone, I always like giving them a softer brow. It's just something that I like doing, and I feel like it looks a little bit less harsh. It definitely looks a lot more natural, and that's just how I prefer to do my makeup, which is a big reason why I think this has lasted me for so long. But anyway, this, I love it. It's amazing. Next product. So I'm going to talk about this Wet n Wild ColorIcon blush. This has gone through several reformulations. Well, not several, I think one major one, but I have loved this blush for years, and this specific blush is called ApriCot in the middle. They have some other shades, but this is my favorite just because it is the kind of blush that I feel comfortable wearing. If you know me, then you know that I don't tend to wear blush that often. I'm not wearing any blush today, but whenever I do decide to wear a blush, I wear a blush that has a lot of a peachy undertone. I almost wear a blush that looks like a bronzer, and this is for me a perfect shade because it is so peachy. It's kind of like brown almost, but it isn't, and it has like a little bit of shimmery like flecks in it, and it's just something that's really easy. It's really like flattering on me, and I really like it a lot. So this is something that I have not used very often, but that's just because I don't tend to use a lot of blush. I'm going to talk about the highlight that I'm wearing today. It looks very luminous and very glowy, and I'm talking about the Balm Mary LouManizer. This is one of the oldest highlights that I own. That sounds disgusting, but it's a great highlight, and I actually like really love breaking it out every once in a while and using it again. I do find that this highlighter isn't as blingy as some of the newer highlighters that you will find on the market. market, but it's still very smooth and it tends to like really give you like a good sculpted look. As you can see, like my cheekbones, they look pretty they look highlighted, right, but they're not like very blingy. It definitely looks like something that's really sculpting my face, and I really like that about this product. It really tends to give like a very nice glow, which I like, but it still is a pretty highlighting product, you know what I'm saying? I can kind of tell looking at a highlight either on myself or either just swatched if a highlight is older or not, because older highlighters tend to look quite powdery. Newer formulas have been able to make highlighters look a lot more blingy, and when you blend them out they don't tend to look as powdery. But with older highlighters it looks like powder, which can get quite annoying. This is not something that looks like a powdery highlight when it's on the skin. I mean, it obviously looks like a highlighting product, but it doesn't look nearly as powdery as a lot of other older highlighters. Plus, I just like the way it's very flattering on me. I do tend to break it out every now and then and use it because I still like it a lot and I still gravitate towards it. So this is a good highlighter that I'd recommend if you're looking for something that's not as blingy as the newer formulas, just something that's very soft and very glowy, but very flattering as well. So this is something that I'd really recommend if you have fair skin. I do think that if you have super fair skin, this will be too dark for you, but if you have like a medium to light skin tone, I feel like this is a good highlighter to use. So this is something that's a little bit newer, and actually I should have been wearing this when I did my makeup for this video, but this is a Fiona Stiles Matte Finish Foundation Concentrate. This is one of the best foundations that I own. I love it so much. Unfortunately, Fiona Stiles, which was sold in Ulta, I actually had a hard time there. I think that not a lot of people were buying from the brand, which sucked because a lot of their products are so good. And for a while, I mean, I was just holding on to this bottle because I couldn't get the foundation anywhere. I couldn't find the foundation anywhere. So I was just like, I was like coveting this bottle of amazingness, you know, with me, and I couldn't mention it because it was no longer available, which was frustrating until I found a website where they managed to sell this foundation. They're selling this foundation along with a luminous version. I haven't tried the luminous version, but this matte foundation is so good. It reminds me a little bit of the Fenty foundation, but it is a more of a whipped formula, and I think the shade range is great. My shade is number 4, and I absolutely love this foundation. It's so good. It has definitely stood the test of time. It's been available for a few years and I love it. If you like a matte looking foundation but you like a more velvety finish, you don't want something that will make you look very flat, and you don't want something that will really suck the moisture out of your skin, this is great. The packaging is really nice. It looks very high-end. But it's about $30, which I think is a good price for foundation. So this is one that I absolutely love. Okay, moving on, I want to talk about this little eyeshadow. This is something that I feel like not a lot of people on YouTube talk about. I first saw this on Instagram, and I think a lot of people use it there. But this is a Sugar Pill loose eyeshadow in Penelope. If you're interested in like a very coppery, shimmery eyeshadow, and if you like a very foiled look, this is a great one. That's what it looks like in the jar. Very nice, of course. But if you swatch it, oi boy, it looks absolutely beautiful. You know, it's a little bit crumbly, I do have to say, and you do get fallout, which I was filming a tutorial the other day and I completely forgot about the fallout, so that was something that I had to fix when I was filming that tutorial. But look how beautiful it is, and just a little bit goes such a long way. I do recommend using the product off the lid, because if you go in with a brush into the actual jar, it can get a little bit messy. But if you use the product that's like on the lid, you get this beautiful sheen, which is amazing, like all over the lid, or even as an inner corner highlight if you have a little bit of a deeper skin tone. It really is a stunning eyeshadow, and yes, it is like a neutral. And you guys know that typically I like a lot of color, but whenever I'm feeling like I don't want to wear a lot of color, which isn't very often, but whenever I'm feeling like that, this is what I go for. It is absolutely beautiful. I love it. Okay, so next I want to talk about the L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadows. The shades that I have, they are right here, and these are all the shades. I just, some of these shades I think are discontinued, so I'm not going to talk about these, but I am going to talk about this shade right here. This is in the shade Amber Rush. This is what it looks like. I actually swatched it right here. It's right over the Sugar Pill eyeshadow. You can see that it's a beautiful rosy, like pinky gold color. It's really nice. I think the formula is still something that's held up quite well over the past few years. This is definitely comparable with a lot of the newer formulas that have been circulating around, which is pretty unusual for an eyeshadow, because in my opinion, I feel like a lot of the older eyeshadow formulas that were so very well loved like a few years ago just don't compete very well with the eyeshadow formulas that are on the market today. But this one seems to be doing pretty well. This is what it looks like dry, and when it's wet, it's like this beautiful foiled look. So if you like something like this, I would definitely suggest picking it up if you don't have it already, because it is a beautiful eyeshadow. A lot of these products are drugstore, just because when I was first getting into makeup, I used to buy a lot of drugstore. Now I don't as much, partly because the drugstore prices have gone up, but now I just don't buy as much from the drugstore because I usually buy from Sephora or indie makeup brands online. So I don't really try a lot of drugstore now. But this is a beautiful concealer from the drugstore. This is the NYX Incredible Waterproof Concealer. I really haven't seen people talk about it that much, and I don't know why. I think it's just because it looks quite unassuming, and yeah, it does, but this is something that I love specifically for carving out my brows whenever I do that, which isn't very often. But also, this is a great product. But this is also a beautiful product when you're wearing a bold lip and you want to sharpen up that lip line. Same thing goes for a winged liner. If you have a winged liner and you really want to like make it like really sharp, you can use something like this. What I do is I like to take a very tiny detail brush and I just go in like this, and then I'm able to like sort of paint the product on my face, or I go in with this stick directly. And the reason I've liked this so much for so long is just because it is, for one thing, a stick formula, and for the other, it's very thick and kind of waxy, so it's ideal for the purposes that I just mentioned, because it just really stays, and no matter how hard I sweat, it doesn't move. So if you're looking for something to sort of fine-tune your makeup, this is something I'd recommend. I mean, to be fair, I haven't tried a lot of concealers, I haven't tried a lot of the higher end ones, but this is really inexpensive. It's just a few dollars. You can get it on Amazon. Actually, that's where I got this one, and it works for me really well, and I haven't had a need to update it or change it. I think I will be repurchasing this one once I run out of it, because I don't use it very often, but when I do, I really love it a lot. Next, I want to talk about some of the Colourpop Lippie sticks. I have a few here. Well, yeah, I have some more. These are like lying around everywhere, and right now my room is not the best, so I don't know where the rest are, but these are the few that I have, like, that I was able to find for this video, because clearly my life is very together. But I just want to say, these were one of the first products that Colourpop came out with, and it was like a very like interesting concept, and people really liked it a lot. It's basically a lipstick in a stick, like in a long stick version. I'll take the one I'm wearing today. This is called Tootsie, and I'm actually wearing it on my lips. You can see like it's a very brown nude, and usually it doesn't look as pink, but it looks pinker now because I actually decided to wear a gloss over the top, and the gloss had a little bit of pink in it. But this is what it looks like, and when you swatch it, it is an unusual shade in my opinion, because you don't get a lot of these like purpley tones in lip colors, but I feel like it's a unique color and looks quite interesting on my lips, especially when I'm pairing it with something that's a purple eyeshadow, which is what I have in my crease. I decided to wear this just because it kind of ties the entire look together, and I just really like this color a lot. This is in the shade Tootsie, and it's a matte, and I believe it's from their matte X line or just their matte line, I'm not sure. But some of these other colors include a lot of sort of like pinky tone shades. I was really into pinks when I was buying these colors, so that's why like a lot of these are pink tones, which I don't wear very often anymore. But one that I really love is called Love Life, and it's a matte X color, which is like a velvety matte, very creamy finish, and I really think this is a beautiful lipstick. Let me swatch it a little bit for you. This is what it looks like right here. So I love the creaminess, and I absolutely love not feeling like my lips are about to fall off my face sometimes, but I really like wearing a lipstick every now and then, and this is actually a format that I prefer because I don't really buy a lot of lipsticks. But the thing about these is that they have absolutely stood the test of time because they really have a beautiful selection of shades, and also they just feel so very creamy on the lips. They stay on really well, but they don't dry your lips out. They have a variety of finishes. My favorites are the Matte X finishes because I find that those mattes, they're very like smooth, very velvety, and they're very full coverage. It's kind of weird saying that a lip color is full coverage because it's on the lips, but it's very high impact. The color is very saturated, but the formula itself is very moisturizing, but it stays on for a long time, at least for a lipstick. So yeah, I really like these a lot. I definitely should be using them more often, especially the color Tootsie, which kind of really like on my lips. So yeah, check these out. These are really great. If you haven't tried them already, you definitely should. So that is pretty much it for this video. I'm kind of like sitting hunched over because I'm scratching my leg right now because mosquitoes keep biting me. Apparently they love the taste of my blood. So that is pretty much the end of this video. I'm just gonna stop rambling right now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.